Are you searching for the best way to prepare for the WGU D334 objective assessment? Look no further. Our website includes practice questions and answers for you to use in preparing for the D334 course proficiently. In this video, we will cover questions from symmetric encryption, asymmetric encryption, hash functions, cryptographic attacks, and key management. So, let's get started. 1. Which of the following is an advantage of using a one-time pad in cryptography? A. It is easy to implement. B. It can be reused multiple times. C. It is considered unbreakable. D. It is compatible with hardware encryption. What do you think is the answer? Correct answer. C. It is considered unbreakable. Explanation. A one-time pad is considered unbreakable because it uses a random key that is as long as the message and is used only once. This ensures that there is no repeating pattern that can be exploited by attackers. 2. What is the primary purpose of a hardware security module? HSM. A. To manage cryptographic keys. B. To encrypt full disk volumes. C. To generate random numbers. D. To store digital certificates. Do you know the answer? Correct answer. A. To manage cryptographic keys. Explanation. An HSM is a tamper-resistant device designed to manage, store, and protect cryptographic keys and perform cryptographic operations. 3. Which encryption mode ensures that no two blocks of plaintext will ever produce the same ciphertext? A. Electronic codebook, ECB. B. Cipher block chaining, CBC. C. Counter mode, CTR. D. Output feedback, OFB. Do you know the answer? Correct answer. B. Cipher block chaining, CBC. Explanation. CBC mode. XORs. Each plaintext block with the previous ciphertext block before encryption, ensuring that no two identical plaintext blocks produce the same ciphertext. 4. Which type of cryptographic attack involves analyzing the frequency of letters or groups of letters? A. Brute force attack. B. Dictionary attack. C. Frequency analysis. D. Known plaintext attack. What do you think is the answer? Correct answer. C. Frequency analysis. Explanation. Frequency analysis involves studying the frequency of letters or groups of letters in a ciphertext to break the encryption. It is particularly effective against simple substitution ciphers. 5. What is the key weakness of the electronic codebook, ECB encryption mode? A. It is too complex to implement. B. It requires initialization vectors. C. It encrypts identical plaintext blocks into identical ciphertext blocks. D. It does not support block encryption. Do you know the answer? Correct answer. C. It encrypts identical plaintext blocks into identical ciphertext blocks. Explanation. ECB mode is insecure because it produces the same ciphertext for identical plaintext blocks, making it vulnerable to pattern analysis. 6. Which of the following algorithms is commonly used in lightweight cryptography? A. RSA. B. DS. C. SPEC. D. AES. Can you guess the answer? Correct answer. C. SPEC. Explanation. SPEC is a lightweight block cipher designed by the NSA, optimized for performance in hardware implementations, making it suitable for constrained environments like IoT devices. 7. Which of the following hashing methods produces a 160-bit output? A. MD5. B. SHA1. C. SHA256. D. SHA512. Do you know the answer? Correct answer. B. SHA-1. Explanation: SHA-1 produces a 160-bit hash value, though it is now considered insecure and has been largely replaced by stronger algorithms like SHA-256 and SHA-512. 8. Which encryption technique is based on the mathematical difficulty of factoring large prime numbers? A. AES. B. ECC. C. RSA. D. Diffie-Hellman. Do you know the answer? Correct answer. C. RSA. Explanation: RSA relies on the difficulty of factoring large prime numbers, which makes it secure for encryption and digital signatures, though it is computationally intensive. 9. What is the primary function of a digital certificate? A. To generate random numbers. B. To provide a public key to verify signatures. C. To store cryptographic keys. D. To generate symmetric encryption keys. Can you guess the answer? Correct answer. B. To provide a public key to verify signatures. Explanation: a digital certificate binds a public key to an entity, allowing others to verify that entity's signature or to encrypt messages using the public key. 10. In the Diffie-Hellman key exchange algorithm, what is exchanged between two parties? A. Symmetric encryption keys. B. Private keys. C. Public keys. D. Digital certificates. What do you think is the answer? Correct answer. C. Public keys. Explanation: in the Diffie-Hellman key exchange, the two parties exchange public keys, which are used along with their own private keys to derive a shared secret key. 11. Which of the following cryptographic operations can be performed without decrypting the data first? A. Brute force attack. B. Replay attack. C. Homomorphic encryption. D. Known plaintext attack. Do you know the answer? Correct answer. C. Homomorphic encryption. Explanation: homomorphic encryption allows mathematical operations to be performed on encrypted data without needing to decrypt it, ensuring data privacy during processing. 12. Which of the following modes converts a block cipher into a synchronous stream cipher? A. Cipher block chaining, CBC. B. Counter mode, CTR. C. Output feedback, OFB. D. Electronic codebook, ECB. Can you guess the answer? Correct answer. C. Output feedback, OFB. Explanation: OFB mode transforms a block cipher into a stream cipher by generating key stream blocks that are XOR-read with the plaintext, allowing block-by-block encryption. 13. Which cryptographic hash function is widely considered vulnerable to collision attacks? A. SHA-1. B. SHA-256. C. SHA-512. D. AES. What do you think is the answer? Correct answer. A. SHA-1. Explanation: SHA-1 has been proven vulnerable to collision attacks, where two different inputs produce the same hash value, compromising the integrity of the hash. 14. What is a primary benefit of using elliptic curve cryptography, ECC, over RSA? A. It uses smaller keys for the same level of security. B. It is easier to implement. C. It provides more secure hash functions. D. It does not require public key infrastructure. Do you know the answer? Correct answer. A. It uses smaller keys for the same level of security. Explanation: ECC offers the same level of security as RSA, but with much smaller key sizes, making it faster and more efficient, especially in resource-constrained environments. 15. Which of the following describes a man-in-the-middle (MITM) attack? A. The attacker gains access to both parties' private keys. B. The attacker sends encrypted messages to both parties. C. The attacker intercepts and alters communication between two parties. D. The attacker floods a network with traffic to cause denial of service. Can you guess the answer? Correct answer. C. The attacker intercepts and alters communication between two parties. Explanation. A MITM attack involves the attacker secretly intercepting and potentially altering communication between two parties, without them knowing. 16. Which encryption method is most commonly used to encrypt individual files in modern operating systems? A. AES. B. RSA. C. SHA-1. D. Blowfish. What do you think is the answer? Correct answer. A. AES. Explanation. AES is widely used in modern operating systems like Windows and Mac OS to encrypt individual files and entire disk volumes due to its strength and efficiency. 17. In public key cryptography, which key is used to decrypt a message that has been encrypted with the recipient's public key? A. The sender's private key. B. The sender's public key. C. The recipient's private key. D. The recipient's public key. Do you know the answer? Correct answer. C. The recipient's private key. Explanation. In asymmetric encryption, a message encrypted with the recipient's public key can only be decrypted by the recipient's private key, ensuring confidentiality. 18. What is the function of a nonce in cryptographic operations? A. To provide padding for encrypted blocks. B. To prevent replay attacks. C. To encrypt data using a secret key. D. To generate a public/private key pair. Can you guess the answer? Correct answer. B. To prevent replay attacks. Explanation. A nonce is a number used once to ensure that old communications cannot be replayed by attackers, adding randomness to cryptographic protocols. 19. Which of the following algorithms supports homomorphic encryption? A. RSA. B. AES. C. Diffie-Hellman. D. Blowfish. What do you think is the answer? Correct answer. A. RSA. Explanation. RSA supports certain types of homomorphic encryption, allowing mathematical operations to be performed on ciphertext without decrypting it first. 20. What is the block size used by AES? A. 64 bits. B. 128 bits. C. 192 bits. D. 256 bits. Do you know the answer? Correct answer. B. 128 bits. Explanation. AES uses a fixed block size of 128 bits, regardless of the key size, which can be 128, 192, or 256 bits. 21. Which stream cipher is commonly used in Wi-Fi encryption under WPA2? A. AES. B. RC4. C. CHA-20. D. RSA. Can you guess the answer? Correct answer. B. RC4. Explanation. RC4 is a stream cipher that was widely used in WPA and WEP encryption, though it has been deprecated in favor of more secure algorithms like AES-CCMP. 22. Which of the following is an asymmetric encryption algorithm? A. AES. B. DS. C. RSA. D. RC5. What do you think is the answer? Correct answer. C. RSA. Explanation. RSA is an asymmetric encryption algorithm that uses a public-private key pair, unlike AES and DES, which are symmetric algorithms. 23. Which of the following is a method for verifying the integrity of a message? A. public key, B. digital certificate, C. digital signature, D. symmetric encryption. Do you know the answer? Correct answer. C. Digital signature. Explanation. A digital signature is used to verify the integrity of a message, ensuring it has not been altered during transmission, and verifying the sender's identity. 24. Which of the following describes the concept of perfect forward secrecy? A. Compromised session keys will allow access to all past communications. B. Compromised long-term keys will not compromise past session keys. C. Symmetric keys can be reused for multiple sessions. D. Private keys can be used for both signing and encrypting data. Can you guess the answer? Correct answer. B. Compromised long-term keys will not compromise past session keys. Explanation. Perfect forward secrecy ensures that even if long-term keys are compromised, past session keys remain secure, as each session key is unique. 25. What is a common weakness of password-based encryption methods? A. Vulnerability to brute force attacks. B. Inability to use long passwords. C. Requirement of symmetric encryption. D. Requirement of asymmetric encryption. What do you think is the answer? Correct answer. A. Vulnerability to brute force attacks. Explanation. Password-based encryption is susceptible to brute force attacks, where attackers try many possible passwords until they find the correct one. 26. Which of the following modes uses an initialization vector, IV, for the first block, but requires feedback from previous ciphertext blocks? A. Counter mode, CTR. B. Cipher feedback, CFB. C. Cipher block chaining, CBC. D. Electronic code book, ECB. Do you know the answer? Correct answer. C. Cipher block chaining, CBC. Explanation. CBC mode uses an IV for the first block and XORs each subsequent block of plaintext with the previous ciphertext block, ensuring that identical plaintext blocks produce different ciphertexts. 27. What is the main purpose of the modulus operator, MOD, in cryptography? A. To perform exponentiation. B. To return the remainder of a division. C. To factorize large numbers. D. To find the greatest common divisor. Can you guess the answer? Correct answer. B. To return the remainder of a division. Explanation. The modulus operator returns the remainder after dividing one number by another, and it is frequently used in cryptographic algorithms like RSA and Diffie-Hellman. 28. Which cryptographic attack relies on the ability to obtain multiple ciphertexts encrypted with the same key? A. Known plaintext attack. B. Frequency analysis. C. Chosen ciphertext attack. D. Ciphertext-only attack. What do you think is the answer? Correct answer. D. Ciphertext-only attack. Explanation. A ciphertext-only attack relies on the ability to analyze multiple ciphertexts encrypted with the same key to deduce the key or plaintext, often using statistical methods. 29. In a Caesar cipher, how is the encryption process performed? A. By shifting the plaintext letters by a fixed number of positions. B. By using multiple substitution alphabets. C. By XORing the plaintext with a random key. D. By transposing letters based on a grid pattern. Do you know the answer? Correct answer. A. By shifting the plaintext letters by a fixed number of positions. Explanation. In a Caesar cipher, each letter in the plaintext is shifted by a fixed number of positions down or up the alphabet to produce the ciphertext. 30. Which of the following protocols uses symmetric key encryption to secure communication between two parties? A. TLS, B. SSL, C. IPSec, D. All of the above. Can you guess the answer? Correct answer. D. All of the above. Explanation: TLS, SSL, and IPSec all use symmetric key encryption to secure communication between two parties, with the session key being negotiated via asymmetric methods. Struggling with your WGU exams? We've all been there. Welcome to OAexams.com, your ultimate resource for WGU success. Find over 15,000 plus questions and answers. Join our thriving community of over 10,000 active WGU students and an impressive 100% success rate with our premium exam support. Visit OAexams.com today and take the first step toward guaranteed success. 31. Which public key crypto system uses elliptic curves to provide encryption, digital signatures, and key exchange? A. RSA, B. El-Gamal, C. ECC, D. AES. What do you think is the answer? Correct answer. C. ECC. Explanation: ECC, elliptic curve cryptography, uses elliptic curves for encryption, digital signatures, and key exchange, offering equivalent security to RSA but with smaller key sizes. 32. Which method is commonly used to crack a hashed password? A. Known plaintext attack, B. Dictionary attack, C. Brute force attack, D. Replay attack. Do you know the answer? Correct answer: B. Dictionary attack. Explanation: a dictionary attack involves trying commonly used passwords or words from a predefined list against a hashed password until the correct one is found. 33. Which encryption algorithm is commonly used to secure communications in wireless networks under WPA2? A. AES, B. DES, C. RSA, D. Blowfish. Can you guess the answer? Correct answer: A. AES. Explanation: AES is commonly used to secure communications in wireless networks under WPA2, providing strong encryption for protecting data over Wi-Fi. 34. Which of the following cryptographic algorithms relies on the difficulty of solving discrete logarithms? A. RSA, B. ECC, C. El-Gamal, D. AES. What do you think is the answer? Correct answer: C. El-Gamal. Explanation: El-Gamal relies on the difficulty of solving discrete logarithms, which makes it secure for encryption and digital signatures, but it requires longer key sizes than RSA. 35. What is the purpose of a certificate revocation list? CRL. A. To issue new digital certificates. B. To store public keys for certificate authorities. C. To list certificates that are no longer valid. D. To manage the expiration dates of certificates. Do you know the answer? Correct answer: C. To list certificates that are no longer valid. Explanation: a CRL lists certificates that have been revoked before their expiration date, allowing users and systems to avoid trusting certificates that have been compromised or are no longer valid. 36. Which encryption algorithm is typically used with blockchain technologies like Bitcoin? A. SHA-1, B. RSA, C. AES, D. Elliptic curve cryptography, ECC. Can you guess the answer? Correct answer: D. Elliptic curve cryptography, ECC. Explanation: ECC is widely used in blockchain technologies like Bitcoin due to its smaller key sizes, which provide efficient and secure cryptographic operations. 37. What is the output size of a hash generated by the SHA-256 algorithm? A. 128 bits, B. 160 bits, C. 256 bits, D. 512 bits. Do you know the answer? Correct answer. C. 256 bits. Explanation. SHA-256 generates a fixed-length hash output of 256 bits, providing a higher level of security compared to SHA-1 and MD5. 38. Which of the following describes the concept of salting in cryptography? A. Adding random data to the plain text before encryption. B. Adding random data to a password before hashing. C. Adding padding to a block cipher. D. Adding an initialization vector to a block cipher mode. Do you know the answer? Correct answer. B. Adding random data to a password before hashing. Explanation. Salting involves adding random data to a password before hashing to prevent attackers from using pre-computed hash values, rainbow tables, to crack the password. 39. Which of the following describes an ephemeral key? A. A key used to encrypt a single message or session. B. A key that can be reused across multiple sessions. C. A key that is stored in hardware for long-term use. D. A key that is derived from a user's password. Can you guess the answer? Correct answer. A. A key used to encrypt a single message or session. Explanation. An ephemeral key is used for a single message or session and is discarded afterward, providing better security by ensuring that previous keys cannot be reused. 40. What is the primary advantage of stream encryption over block encryption? A. It provides better security. B. It is faster and works well for real-time applications. C. It uses smaller key sizes. D. It does not require initialization vectors. What do you think is the answer? Correct answer. B. It is faster and works well for real-time applications. Explanation. Stream encryption is often faster than block encryption and works well for real-time applications like audio and video transmission, where data is processed bit by bit. 41. What type of attack exploits the fact that two different inputs can produce the same hash value? A. Replay attack. B. Collision attack. C. Man-in-the-middle attack. D. Brute force attack. Do you know the answer? Correct answer. B. Collision attack. Explanation. A collision attack exploits the fact that two different inputs can produce the same hash value, undermining the integrity of the hash function and potentially leading to forged digital signatures. 42. Which of the following algorithms is a stream cipher? A. AES. B. RSA. C. RC4. D. Blowfish. Can you guess the answer? Correct answer. C. RC4. Explanation. RC4 is a stream cipher that encrypts data one bit or byte at a time, commonly used in older encryption protocols like WEP and WPA. 43. Which of the following is a weakness of the WPA encryption protocol? A. It uses a fixed initialization vector. B. It is vulnerable to replay attacks. C. It uses RC4, which is insecure. D. It uses 128-bit AES encryption. What do you think is the answer? Correct answer. C. It uses RC4, which is insecure. Explanation. WPA uses the RC4 stream cipher, which has known vulnerabilities, making it less secure compared to modern encryption methods like AES used in WPA2. 44. Which of the following cryptographic algorithms is commonly used for key exchange? A. AES. B. RSA. C. Diffie-Hellman. D. Blowfish. Do you know the answer? Correct answer. C. Diffie-Hellman. Explanation. Diffie-Hellman is widely used for secure key exchange between two parties, allowing them to establish a shared secret key over an unsecured communication channel. 45. Which block cipher mode is considered the weakest due to its lack of an initialization vector, IV? A. Cipher block chaining, CBC. B. Electronic code book, ECB. C. Counter mode, CTR. D. Output feedback, OFB. Can you guess the answer? Correct answer. B. Electronic code book, ECB. Explanation. ECB mode is considered weak because it does not use an IV, which results in identical plaintext blocks being encrypted into identical ciphertext blocks, making it vulnerable to pattern analysis. 4. Which of the following describes the main advantage of elliptic curve cryptography, ECC? A. ECC uses larger keys, making it more secure than RSA. B. ECC provides the same security as RSA with smaller key sizes. C. ECC is easier to implement than other public key crypto systems. D. ECC provides perfect forward secrecy by default. What do you think is the answer? Correct answer. B. ECC provides the same security as RSA with smaller key sizes. Explanation. ECC offers equivalent security to RSA, but with much smaller key sizes, making it more efficient in terms of computation and storage, especially for mobile and embedded devices. 47. Which of the following describes a chosen ciphertext attack? A. The attacker selects arbitrary plaintext and observes the corresponding ciphertext. B. The attacker intercepts and decrypts a specific ciphertext. C. The attacker alters ciphertext to cause predictable errors in decryption. D. The attacker chooses a ciphertext and obtains its corresponding decrypted plaintext. What do you think is the answer? Correct answer. D. The attacker chooses a ciphertext and obtains its corresponding decrypted plaintext. Explanation. In a chosen ciphertext attack, the attacker selects a ciphertext and obtains its decrypted plaintext, often using this information to deduce the encryption key or break the crypto system. 48. What is a primary risk of using a non-synchronizing cipher mode, such as cipher feedback, CFB? A. It is more vulnerable to brute force attacks. B. If a block of ciphertext is lost, subsequent blocks cannot be decrypted. C. It requires longer keys than other modes. D. It does not provide authentication. Can you guess the answer? Correct answer. B. If a block of ciphertext is lost, subsequent blocks cannot be decrypted. Explanation. In a non-synchronizing cipher mode like CFB, each ciphertext block depends on the previous one. If a block is lost or corrupted, the subsequent blocks cannot be decrypted correctly. 49. Which of the following is used to verify the identity of a server in an HTTPS connection? A. Symmetric key. B. Private key. C. Digital certificate. D. Public key. What do you think is the answer? Correct answer. C. Digital certificate. Explanation. A digital certificate is used to verify the identity of a server in an HTTPS connection, ensuring that the server is legitimate and has the correct public key for encryption. 50. What is the primary function of a Trusted Platform Module, TPM, in cryptography? A. To generate public-private key pairs. B. To encrypt full disk volumes. C. To provide hardware-level encryption and secure key storage. D. To store digital certificates. Do you know the answer? Correct answer. C. To provide hardware-level encryption and secure key storage. Explanation. A TPM is a dedicated hardware component that provides hardware-level encryption, securely stores cryptographic keys, and enhances system security. You've reached the end of our first question set. For the complete exam preparation experience, visit us at oaexams.com, where you'll find thousands more practice questions and comprehensive study guides. Thanks for studying with us today. See you in the next video.